It is said that the city's transportation network is its cardiovascular system, a multifaceted structure that enables the continuous flow of people and goods through its arteries. Municipal authorities, city councils, urban planners, and transport infrastructure owners and operators around the world are well aware that its quality and efficiency are crucial for the economy and for the well-being of citizens and visitors. Unfortunately, for decades now, the Holy Ghost axis of Enugu metropolis has been a mess, a place where all manner of both legitimate and illegitimate activities thrive. It is inappropriate and unfit that a state like Enugu, which prides itself as the capital of the old eastern region and the present southeast, will have such an unkept place at the heartbeat of the city, and worse still, as a transportation hub. 41% of the traffic that comes into Enugu state ends up at this notorious transportation hub. It is no longer news that miscreants found some part of the axis as their haven, where they operated and ran into hiding without a trace. During the inspection of some of the facilities in the area last year by some government officials, some human remains and mountainous heaps of human feces amongst other eyesores were seen along the railway lines, a few meters off the former Onitsha South Motor Park. The gory look corroborated the views of some traders, artisans, and other road users who often complained that miscreants who engage in pickpocket, broad daylight robbery, and other criminal activities ran towards the dangerous axis where some of their partners in crime would unleash the dragon and at times kill anyone who dares to chase them up that point. Sometimes in 2023, a voice note of one of the lucky victims, which trended on social media, revealed the dungeon and threat to security that the Holy Ghost Motor Park and its environs had become. Even more worrisome and stressful was the traffic gridlock from Osisa Tech to Holy Ghost Roundabout or Chris Chemist. It is an experience no visitor, motorist, or commuter would willingly want to repeat, as it took hours for one to navigate that short distance due to reckless parking, reckless driving by bus drivers, and indiscriminate loading of vehicles by touts and bus conductors, petty traders, artisans, and hawkers who encroach the roads and crowd the entire area made matters worse. It is for this reason and more that Enugu residents and users of the stretch of Market Road have heaved a sigh of relief since the current government of Enugu State began the demolition of those areas with the view to building the Enugu Central Station, one of the first 4 modern transport interchanges to be conducted by the current administration in the next 12 months. Others are the Abakpa Central Station, Garki Central Station, and Nsukka Central Station. Before the demolition around the Holy Ghost area, Enugu residents and visitors had cried out to successive administrations to solve the problems around the area, but to no avail. Both the political will and huge ideas on how to transform the place to something as modern as what we see in Europe, America, and Asia were lacking, but today, the current administration is actually doing justice to the problem. At the time, one of the fears was the political backlash and possible protests that could be instigated and even sponsored by big business owners in the area, using the tout, barrow pushers, petty traders, hawkers, and of course, the many shades of criminals that had turned the area to their den. In the case of Holy Ghost, for instance, apart from a notice served those affected way back in October 2023, all the stakeholders in the transport system and other business owners at Holy Ghost were all invited to a meeting by the Enugu State government in September and October 2023. At the meeting with the government, the intention of the state to build a modern transport interchange was made known, and the stakeholders lauded government visionary mindset. There were also subsequent town hall meetings and individual engagement with major stakeholders. Among others, the state ensured that they are not displaced by giving them a temporary location near New Market while assuring them in writing a right of first refusal once the project was completed and ready for use. Again, working through the Nigerian Railway Corporation, which is the landlord or leaser of the property and business owners there, and based on their agreement with tenants, the properties were evaluated and compensations were worked out, which was then paid to the affected persons and businesses by the government of Enugu State. The Enugu Central Terminal at Holy Ghost will redefine the transportation system in Enugu State. It will be constructed by Planet Project, the same company that handled the Oshodi Interchange. This is the first phase of the transport infrastructure project by the Enugu State government, which includes bus terminals, Enugu Central Station or Holy Ghost, Garuki Central Station, Abakpa Central Station, and Nsukka Central Station. There is also going to be 2 iconic stations, one at City Gate at the Naira Triangle Enugu and the 9th Mile Udi. The Enugu Central Station is a dual terminal that will focus on interstate transportation for Terminal 1 and intra-city transportation for Terminal 2, and the essence of this terminal construction is to give Enugu State a facelift, create employment opportunities and reduce crime in the state. Indeed, the 2-in-1 gigantic Enugu Central Terminal project is going to change the face of the state. Just like an even better version of the Oshodi Lagos Transport Interchange, the Enugu Central Terminal will redefine the transportation system of Enugu State. Interestingly, the Enugu Central Terminal will be constructed by Planet Project as earlier stated, and when completed, it will serve as a major transportation hub with a dual terminal that will be seamlessly linked for both interstate and intra-city travel. The existing rail line, massive adjoining link roads, a major hub for commercial activities, and in a natural, clean, oxygenated air and green environment with the ambience of cities abroad. The project will be located within the Okpara Avenue and Market Road intersection of Enugu town and to be started and completed in 12 months. Once completed, the businesses and other transport and logistic companies in the axis will now move into the ultra-modern Enugu Central Terminal that will also serve as a major hub for a properly planned mass transit station with modular terminals at Garki, Abakpa and Nsukka. While it is generally agreed that the Southeast needs contemporary infrastructures as seen in Lagos and Abuja, projects like the Enugu Central Terminal will come to fruition with many sacrifices, and that is why the Enugu state government insisted on relocating the will-be affected businesses to a temporary location and pegging the construction period for 12 months to ensure those displaced are quickly returned to continue their businesses, which will amount to a win-win situation for both parties. To be candid, it is safe to say that the government of Enugu State is transforming the transport and logistic landscape in Enugu with the Enugu Transport Infrastructure Project, a comprehensive initiative featuring 4 state-of-the-art bus terminals. These terminals, located at Holy Ghost, Garki, Abakpa and Nsukka, will revolutionize public transportation and boost the economic growth in the region. Some of the exciting features of each terminal includes a CNG station, an electric vehicle charging station and a gas station. Another exciting features are ATM points, retail shops, bus and taxi parks, convenience and food courts, and waiting areas. The 3D designs of the 4 terminals currently under construction offers a sneak peek into the futuristic transportation hubs that will soon become a reality in Enugu State. Other components of the terminal buildings includes CCTVs, generator and transformer yards, street lightings, water and wastewater plants, fuel dump and station operations, traffic system management, fence works, pedestrian walkways, and sophisticated security apparatus.